So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. If you guys have not seen this, there is a reason. This was during Corona. This is during the pandemic. They're going around. They've just invented the jab. They're going around in DC. And by the way, remember how they used to say that not getting the jab was a white man thing? Well, when they actually check the facts, turns out that our beloved urban POC were actually the lowest on the chart for the jab. But this video, absolute hilariousness by the most based brother out there, freaking WRECKS Tony. If you haven't seen it, you're going to need to strap in. By the way, I will say this for YouTube. Say this for YouTube before I do it. Not a doctor, not medical advice, blah, blah, blah. Go see your doctor. Okay. Disclosure done. Let's play this.
People in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Okay, so this brother's spitting facts right out the gate, right? And look at their faces too. I want to rewind this here. Look at the face. They're sitting here. He's hanging on the rail. He's ready to run away. You know, the mayor is like, this is the first time somebody spoke back to her. You know, the first time someone spoke back, but it's all facts. It's like you're asking us to trust something that should take forever, that you've done in record time. This is Fauci without his mask, both literal and metaphorical. Yes, very true. So he's interacting with people with no mask. He was talking, and you'll even see there's actually in other videos of the PBS documentary and all this, he's wearing a mask in other circumstances, but here he doesn't feel like he needs to wear a mask for some reason. This brother is incredibly based.
With time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About
not that many. So she's trying to say because we've done vaccines before, we've gotten the time down. Crazy.
20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But
well, no, that's not right, actually. By the way, this brother's based as hell. But here's the thing. The only reason why she's talking is because it makes her feel comfortable, right? Because that was the point at which, during the scamdemic, that they were saying that, oh yeah, you know, they were initially saying, oh, you get jabbed, therefore you're immune, you can't transmit it. And then they had to back off of that and say, that's not what the CDC says anymore. Actually, you can still get it, because then we would let everything go back to normal. We'd have back to normal air travel, no masks, all this stuff. So they had to waffle on it. They ended up waffling on it. So what she says here isn't even accurate. That's not even the science, because the science changed like a week or two later. And by the way, shout out to all the people abroad. I see a brother over here in Asia who says, here in Singapore, I couldn't work for several months. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, it was crazy over here in Asia, I got to say. By the way, this Monday was the first day that we were allowed to not wear a mask on buses and in planes. So finally, we can take flights and be on trains and buses in the metro without wearing a mask. Even though, to be honest, half the time I wouldn't wear it anyways, and no one said shit. That being said, let's continue here.
if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the.
So he's about to bring it up. He's about to say the word, but let's be very clear here. As they established, it doesn't actually stop you from contracting anything. In fact, we saw that people, I got a brother, he's been quadruple, because he's in that industry that requires you to get that jab. Still got it multiple times. So once again, yeah. So this guy brings it up. He says the F word. So guys, I'm going to warn you. He says the F word. It's a very naughty F word. Speaking of which, let me get these comments here. Well, before we see the F word drop, Gorilla Shop Stew says, Bob Johnson here. New video is up. Not as cringe as the first, but getting better. Commentary on events through a conservative blue collar union lens. Check out Bob. He's an amazing supporter. Gorilla Shop Stew. Amazing guy. Great supporter of the channel. Super based. Check him out. Early Life Check says, Miami is cool when you're younger. Once graduated college, I had to move out and move up. Gulf Coast life now. West Coast is best coast. Hey, listen, West Coast, East Coast, wherever you're at, Florida's a lot better than the state you came from if you didn't start there in the first place.
Common flu then, right?
Oh, he dropped the F word.
It's much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year.
Yeah. See, there you go. He said it real quick, by the way. Did you see how he said that real quick? Did you catch that? Did you catch that little reference he said there? He says, oh, not this year. This year, virtually none. Wait, how is that possible? Wait a second. How is that possible? Could it be that your tests are not accurate? And maybe they're flagging things that are actually the flu as something else? Or maybe doctors are flagging things that are not the flu as the that beer bug. Whoopsie. Yeah, they stopped counting. They stopped the count. They assumed it's all the Rona. Yes, those dismissive words, that was everything there. Wait. So, I mean, it's like follow. Wait, you're telling me it disappeared, so it no longer exists? We can't find it anymore?
Here,
continue.
About 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
So first of all, we all know those numbers are fucking bunk. Second of all, the way they've been doing these numbers, I said this in the beginning when I first started my channel, was talking about this. They game these fucking numbers. And I may get in trouble for this, by the way, guys, so make sure you smash the like button. But you know they game these numbers because they use for Rona, they use all-time figures. They use all-time figures, like literally since the beginning of Rona, right? With the F word, they measure year by year. By the way, I think 20 to 30 is actually low. I think there's been years that's been 60s, 70s. And certainly if you go back to Spanish flu years, well, then you're going to get millions, right? So if we want to go back to the beginning of time, the F word's going to be a lot harsher than the C word. And the fact that you measure these numbers differently is material. And honestly, it's disgusting because it's a huge misrepresentation. It's one of the biggest lies that they've spread about this.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely. Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, it's something else going on with that. Something else going on. It is something going on with that.
So here you go. So she admits that the incentivization of the jab is sus, which is a hell of an admission there. It is a hell of an admission.
You're right. But I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an incentive. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But that's what.
But here's the thing. Like, I like how she tries to dig at him. And by the way, this is a typical German Shepherd approach. She wants to get in the last word and run away. This is what she does. She wants to get in the last word and run away. That is ridiculous, especially when she's making a bad argument. And it's an even more horrible argument, an attempt to guilt trip him, right? Because at this point, what that says is that these people like Fauci have been able to bamboozle folks out of their fear for their family, because you care about your family. By the way, that's the reason that most people gave, was I care about my granddad and my grandma, and I don't want to kill granddad and grandma. That's what everybody was afraid of, right? Nobody wanted to be the one who killed granddad and grandma. So trying to guilt trip him here. Typical sick individual. Feminism at a peak right there.
I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is. It's a fear. It's fear, this pandemic. That's all it is.
Yeah, they look at, he got just blown up. He got absolutely destroyed. By the way, he's not wearing a mask right now.